What's going on, guys? Mr. Octagonal here. Now today we have our first off-season draft scenario rebuild here on Madden 19. It is a Kyler Murray to the Cardinals rebuild. If you guys want more Madden and I guess NBA 2K off-season draft, or I guess in 2K we'll probably do some free agent scenario rebuilds, make sure to let me know in the comments. I also still plan on doing MLB The Show rebuilds as well. Those won't be going anywhere. So, yes, we are doing the Kyler Murray of the Cardinals rebuild. These are the updated rosters. We are still in the 2018 season, unfortunately, so I'm going to simulate it. I won't make any trades and stuff. We'll go to the draft Kyler Murray and whoever else. And then from there, we can make all the moves we want. So, looking at this team, on the offense, really the only long-term guy is probably David Johnson. Maybe Christian Kirk if he develops. Obviously, we will look to trade Josh Rosen since we'll have Kyler Murray. What is Marcus Gilbert's development? He is quick, but he is 30. The Cardinals didn't give up much for him, and he's a good player, but probably a no for me, Chief. On the defense, Chandler Jones, that is a very harsh 84. He deserves better than an 84. He's one of the best pass rushers in the league. I would say that should be at least an 87. But I do think they cut Robert Nkemdiche, if I'm not mistaken. I guess he's still here, doesn't really matter. They signed Jordan Hicks from the Eagles in free agency, 26 quick. I can probably work with that. And then Hassan Reddick, he was their first-round pick in 2017, 76 quick. We could theoretically move him to safety with his athleticism, so I guess that's an idea we could look into. In the secondary, Budda Baker, I think I'm going to move him to 3 safety. DJ Swearinger, they signed from the Redskins. He got cut at the end of his season. 27, 85 quick. I think I'm going to hold on to him. And then Patrick Peterson, very good player. 28 years old, 92 overall. I'm going to try to keep him, but we'll see. T-Sizzle, pretty old. Robert Alford, no one really cares. So it looks like Budda Baker made the Pro Bowl. That's good. Christian Kirk has 4 skill points. He ended up making the Pro Bowl. We'll have to take a look at his stats. Hassan Reddick with 3. He made the Pro Bowl and got star dev. Okay. Josh Rosen got 2. Did he do anything really productive this year? Doesn't look like it, and it doesn't really matter since we're trading him away. So, I could care less how he does. So, we ended up with the #1 overall pick. That is because I force lost like 14 games. So, I wanted to make sure that we get Kyler. I'm not cheesing. The rebuild technically does not start until this upcoming season. So, let's take a look at our full draft. Actually, before I show you guys our draft, we have a trade as Josh Rosen is going to the Patriots for the 32nd pick. I could have traded him to, like, the Dolphins. I think they have the pick in the top 5. But I don't want to cheese like that. I want to do something that's somewhat realistic. The Cardinals aren't getting 2 top 5 picks. And this very well could happen in real life. Josh Rosen to the Patriots for this pick. So, now, let's look at our official draft. So here's a look at our completed draft. Of course, #1, we went with Kyler Murray, 80 overall, superstar development. What is his speed? He has 91 speed. He has to be filthy. I'm very tempted to play with him. And then we pretty much focused on offense because A, I want to build a good offense around Kyler, and B, the best players on the board were offense. So with the Patriots pick, we got TJ Hawkinson, 78 quick, then Garrett Bradbury, 76 star. Now in round 3, I had a tough choice between Paris Campbell, Hakeem Butler, and Deebo Samuel, but I ended up going with Campbell. I thought that speed of his, 96, would be so cheese. And then we just went value picks after that. Jojuan Williams is probably the only guy here who will have value. He does have quick development, and he's only 20, so someone we could keep our eye on is potential trade bait or someone we could look to develop. So now the rebuild officially starts. We can make all the trades we want, and this team is about to get blown up, fellas. You guys know the drill. Got to improve the offensive line by getting Quentin Nelson from the Indianapolis Colts as we send away Robert Alford, Kevin White, and Dietrich Nichols. None of them are very important to our future, so go away, fellas. So the only team that was interested in Brooks Reed was the Bears. I tried to get Khalil Mack. I tried to get Roquan Smith. It didn't work. We don't need a safety, so next best thing here is their first-round pick. We're also sending 2 scrubs away, so solid deal. We are going to be sending J.R. Sweezy, Robert Kim DJ, and our first-round pick to the Vikings for Stephon Diggs. I definitely want to get the pick back because I have no clue how good we're going to do this year, but I wanted to get a star receiver for Kyler Murray. I tried to go after DJ Moore. I tried to go after Juju Smith-Schuster, and Diggs is actually a little bit better than those two. I think those two will develop better, but hey, Stephon Diggs can't complain. Chandler Jones is on a very big contract. We're going to be sending him, Brett Hundley, and TJ Logan to the Dolphins for their first-round pick. In case we can't get ours back, we know that they're going to be pretty bad, so boo Dolphins. Another team that I think will be bad is the New York Giants. They did draft Dwayne Haskins, so I'm a little bit weary about that because he is a 79. But we're sending Marcus Gilbert, T. Sizzle, and Brandon Williams, I think, to get their pick. I did not expect this trade to go straight up one bit, but I am not complaining. Jordan Hicks, who I wanted to build around, but at the same time, I just don't see him getting that much better. As well as Charles Clay for Shaq Mason and Joe Thuney from the Patriots. So we are getting 2 really good offensive linemen. And we have an O-line core of Garrett Bradbury, Quentin Nelson, Shaq Mason, Joe Thuney, and I guess a giant question mark with DJ Humphries. Corey Peters, Justin Pugh, and DJ Humphries are headed to the Cincinnati Bengals for their first rounder this year, as well as a 3rd and a 5th next year. I wanted to get more, and this was not the value that I was hoping for, but this is all I could get. We have absolutely robbed the 49ers, sending Darius Philon, Chase Edmonds, and a 4th rounder for DeForest Buckner. I don't know why they're so willing to trade him. I guess it's a contract year for him, but I don't really get it. Here is a look at the offense. I'm a little bit worried about Cunningham at left tackle as the blind side. We'll see how it goes the first few weeks. And if I notice Kyler is struggling, then I might make an adjustment. But other than that, the offense looks really good. We got some good weapons for Kyler. And then on the defensive side of the ball, I guess DeForest Buckner and Hassan Reddick will play end. I mean, that's fine. That's kind of weird. Our front 7 is really bad. We need to focus on that. The secondary is solid. The safety positions are pretty good. We got a good corner in Patrick Peterson, maybe in Jojuan Williams. So pretty much it's just the front 7 and left tackle. And then hopefully other than that, we're set to go. And at the end of the season, it looks like we missed the playoffs. Kyler Murray finishes with 5 skill points, which is definitely not bad, as he ends up winning Rookie of the Year, and Superstar Development will help with that, as we end up going 7 and 9. So I definitely want to check out his stats, as obviously he's the most important part of the rebuild. Looks like he's confident, so I guess that's a good sign. As 4,477 yards, 36 touchdowns, 8 picks, 66%. My goodness, that's good. And then running the ball, 6 yards. That's Madden in a nutshell. And I see that Hassan Reddick, who is actually playing a linebacker because the game signed 2 defensive ends, he now has superstar development. We are going to see his stats. I am very curious what he's done the past 2 seasons. So this past season, he racked up 12 sacks, which is a ton, and then last year he got a bunch of tackles, so good to see him playing well. This is not a particularly great free agency class, as you can see. We're only going after 1 player, and that's Blake Martinez, because we need help at middle linebacker, and we are overpaying him quite a bit. As you can see, his fair offer is $25.5 mil, but we're giving him $66.9, but I think it's worth it. He's an 88, and he will clear up that spot right away. So of all teams, the Chiefs get the number 1 overall pick. I see us at 5. We also got 12, 27, and 30. So I forgot to turn auto scouting on. Great. We need help on the O-line, so we're going to be going with Trey Smith from Washington, not Tennessee. He's not 20. It feels like he's been in college for eternity. And he's also not black. So the person who made this draft class definitely messed up on him, but these other guys look good. So we're going to take Trey Smith. And he has superstar development, so our left tackle spot is pretty much set. So I just tried to get Bradley Chubb. That was a fail, but I'll have to settle for Von Miller as we trade away Paris Campbell, a 5th, and Mike Weber to do it. I think it's safe to say we fleece for Broncos. Joe Yuan Williams, Chad Williams, and Preston Williams are headed to the Cleveland Browns for Jarvis Landry. We don't need 3 players of the last name Williams, so they are all going away to Cleveland Town. And we got ourselves another good receiver. So our receiving core will be Jarvis Landry, Christian Kirk, and Stephon Diggs. Pretty nice. Please tell me how Nick Bosa ended up on the Packers. This is like my worst nightmare. We're trading a lot here, but I think it's worth it. DJ Swearinger, a 3rd rounder, and pick 27 for Montez Sweat from the Panthers. All you need to know is that he has superstar development. So him and Von Miller across from each other on the D-line is going to be scary. Here's a look at our draft. I already talked about Trey Adams. Then we went Grant Delpit with the 12th pick to replace DJ Swearinger. And then for our last 2 picks, we went Jake Fromm and Jacob Eason. You're probably wondering, Octagon, why are you picking quarterbacks? You have Kyler Murray. This is a Kyler Murray rebuild. Well, if you've not watched any of my rebuilds before, sometimes I like to draft quarterbacks because they have a lot of trade value, especially rookies. And both of these guys are 20 years old. Fromm has superstar, Eason has star. So we can get a ton of value for these 2. I wouldn't be surprised if I could trade Jake Fromm for a superstar. And we do have some holes on defense, so we can make our defense stacked very quickly. Jacob Eason, Joe Thuney, and a 3rd are headed to the Chargers for Derwin James. I didn't want to trade Thuney, but we could always trade for a guard. They're not too hard to trade for, and then move them to tackle. So the plan is Derwin James will move to 3 safety, and then Budda Baker will move to corner. So, yeah, whoop-de-doo. Nice plan. David Long and 2 5th-round picks are headed to my Detroit Lions for Deshaun Hand. We don't need a defensive end, but he will move inside to defensive tackle, and now our D-line is complete. Obviously, this isn't a flashy move, but I need someone who isn't terrible to start on the offensive line to replace Joe Thuney. So we are sending Mo Alley Cox to the New Orleans Saints for former Lion Larry Warford. We're going to be trading our next 2 second-round picks as well as Isaiah McKenzie to the Ravens for Matthew Judon. Not particularly a superstar, but we need someone out that outside linebacker spot, and Judon's definitely good enough. I didn't want to trade Hawkinson, but I think it's worth it. A 1st, a 4th, and TJ Hawkinson for Adoree Jackson from the Tennessee Titans. Him, Patrick Peterson, and Budda Baker will be a very nice cornerback group. It has not been easy searching for a tight end, but I'm pretty happy with this. 2/3 and Sheffield for Tyler Eifert from the Cincinnati Bengals. Injuries are turned off, so we'll have him for a full 16 games, which the Bengals can't usually say too often. Now, I thought I was done making trades there, but I totally forgot that I had Jake Fromm. So him and Christian Kirk, as well as a future 1st, are going to the Packers for Devontae Adams. We know the Packers like to plan ahead with their quarterbacks. And as a Lions fan, while I'd be happy that they don't have Devontae Adams, them getting a superstar development 20-year-old quarterback would not thrill me. And I kind of wanted to build around Christian Kirk, but I guess he's the casualty here. Here's a look of a team headed into season number 3. We definitely blew this squad up, and I think it looks really nice. Kyler Murray has a stacked offense around him, and this year his defense is actually really good without holes. So I think we should definitely at worst win 10 or 11 games. Obviously, since this is Madden, we're not going to go far in the playoffs, but hopefully we do. That'd be a pleasant surprise. At the end of the season, we go 10-5-1, which is good enough to make the wild card game. The Rams won 13 games, and everyone in our division finished with a tie. That's so weird. Looking at the skill points, Kyler Murray has 9. Did he win MVP or something? NFL passer rating leader, quarterback of the year, offensive player of the year, MVP, and Pro Bowl. We have to look at this man's stats because he had to have been crazy good. I am worried for what I'm about to see. 4,687 yards, 43 touchdowns, 6 picks. Wow. And he improved his rushing total to 7. Looking at the rest of the offense, I know Trey Smith had 3, Garrett Bradbury with 2, and then on defense, Derwin with 2, Reddick with 3, Sweat with 3, Grant Delpit with 4, Buda Baker with 2, so good to see the guys developing, kind of. Everyone has been given their skill points. This team looks absolutely filthy. 99 offense, 97 defense. I think we have the talent to make the Super Bowl, but knowing Madden, there is no guarantees that we actually do end up making it, and we are in, facing the Browns. How many ties are there? I know the Bucks had a tie, the Browns have a tie. How many ties are there? This is absurd. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that all? 7, 8. Okay, so 8 ties, meaning that there were 4 games with ties this season. Let's take a look at the Browns roster. I know they have at least 3 99 overall players, and they have the 3 Williams, who we traded for Jarvis Landry. So, yeah, Odell, Denzel Ward, Myles Garrett, Mayfield, the two-headed monster of Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. This team is scary. Probably, debatably, a little bit better than us. Yeah, no, they're not better than us. They don't have Kyler Murray. So, Baker versus Kyler, the 2 Oklahoma Heisman-winning quarterbacks, will give everyone some skill points. Kyler Murray will go up again, and maybe we will win the Super Bowl. Do we do it, boys? Can I have a drum roll? We lost. Well, on to next year. So in free agency, we have a 3-headed monster here at running back. And it looks overall like a stacked class on the offensive side of the ball. So I'm definitely going to be going after some of these players. David Johnson is 29. He's not getting any younger. So we are going after Christian McCaffrey. No one's placed a bid on him yet. And then Tyler Eifert, he's declining. We kind of want a younger tight end, so we're going after David Njoku. And then I did not re-sign Larry Warford, so we still have a hole on the offensive line. So Trent Williams, I'll give him a better offer. I'll probably slide him over at right tackle. So I needed a number 4 receiver, and there was 2 interesting choices, Marvin Jones and John Ross, but obviously as a Lions fan, had to go Marvin Jones. So we still have a 99 offense. We now have a 99 defense. I don't think we need to make any trades. I think this team looks absolutely filthy, and hopefully we can take it all the way this year. It looks like we got ourselves a first-round bye. I guess we started on the defense with skill points. Grant Delpit, the only one with more than 2. And then on the offense, Kyler Murray with 3. We'll have to check out his stats. We win 12 games. Very solid. Kyler Murray on the season threw for 4,411 yards, 40 touchdowns, 8 picks, 70% completion, and 18 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. Okay, Kyler. Actually won the MVP again, as well as all the other same awards. So 2 MVPs so far for Kyler. Atlanta Falcons here in the second round of the playoffs. Here's a look of the team after all the skill points were given out. Absolutely stacked. 12-4. We have at least 1 home playoff game. I'm not entirely sure of the other seeds, so I think there's a very solid chance that we do end up making the Super Bowl again, and we don't. Well, on to next year. Judon is getting up there. Well, I mean, he's only 30, but he is starting to decline. So him and Bowers are headed to the 49ers for Quan Alexander. I'll move either Quan or Blake Martinez to where Judon was. And usually middle linebackers increase by like 3 or 4 ratings moving out to outside. So this is basically a 94 overall outside linebacker we're getting, who's younger than Judon. Look at the team headed into season number 4. It's going to be hard to make this squad any better, really on either side of the ball. So chances are this will be the last season. And hopefully we can do what we haven't done yet and potentially win a ring. And again, we finish with a first round bye. Kyler with 2 skill points. Watch him win another MVP. Yep, he did it again. 3 MVPs now for Kyler Murray in his 4th season. We're actually going to have to re-sign him after this year if I keep going, which I don't know if I will. 4,051 yards, 43 touchdowns, 11 picks, 71% completion. And his rushing numbers went down from 18 to 12. That sucks. But what was our record? I'm going to say 13-1. 15-1. Okay, we got to see who he lost to. Lost in Week 14 to the Kansas City Chiefs by 22. Well, at least we lost to a good team on the road, I guess. And we indeed are back in the Super Bowl. We'll be taking on the 13-3 Houston Texans. Let's take a look at their roster quickly. As 13-3 is no easy challenge, but just based off of what you're looking at now, I think we should win. So, Deshaun Watson is a 93, Clowney's a 99. I tried to trade for him at the beginning of the year. It didn't work out. Obviously, I ended up getting Quan, which worked out fine, but this team looks very nice. I would say we have the better team, but I see why they went 13-3. And then here's one final look at our team before heading in to the big game. Hopefully we can do the dang thing. Derwin James has 2 skill points, but he's a 99 in everything. He's so good. So hopefully we can finally do it. We lost 2 seasons ago against the Cleveland Browns, and we win the Super Bowl 28-24 over the Houston Texans. I'm just curious what Kyler Murray wants. How much money is it going to be? Where is he? 6 years, $207 million. That's a lot of dough. And he deserves it for winning 3 MVPs, and he now has a Super Bowl ring. That'll do it, everybody. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you're not already, and tell me what off-season scenario rebuilds I should do next. And as always, have a great day.